What's going on, guys? So a question that I'm commonly asked is, what is my favorite brand of trailer hitch? Now, a hitch is what goes into the receiver on the back of your vehicle. And there are some brands, like the folks over at Gen Y, who actually make a hitch with receivers built into it. So this specific Gen Y right here actually has 3 receiver slots, so you can move the ball to different positions of height, or you can actually put other accessories inside of these other receiver locations to be able to hook up other things, which is really cool. Whether it's going to be a pintle mount or whether it's going to be some type of a shackle mount, things like that. It's a very, very flexible setup, but it also makes it very heavy and very bulky. I do like this setup. It's arguably one of the best built hitches on the market, but there's tons of other really, really great brands out there, including B&W, as well as Bulletproof. I got Weighsafe over here. Very, very, very solid products. Everything here is absolutely a solid product. People ask me all the time, why do I have so many hitches? Well, because I evaluate them, I review them, and I go over the details of them. Today, though, the folks over at Weighsafe provided me with another product, and I really want to showcase this thing because it is really profound in terms of what it's capable of offering, because it kind of offers the best of several worlds in terms of adjustability as well as accessory capability. So let's talk about it. Hang tight. I'll be right back. Okay, so in front of me is a brand new product from the folks over at Weighsafe. This is really, really cool, and it's different because it offers some flexibility that traditionally isn't available in most hitches, while at the same time giving you a tremendous amount of towing as well as tongue weight capacity. Let's get this thing unboxed. So I have a scale here, which we'll use in a second. All right, check this thing out. This is the new steel 180 Pro. So whenever Weighsafe first came out, they came out with a scale hitch that was built out of aluminum, which I showed you earlier on in the video. They then produced some steel versions of a scale hitch as well as a non-scale. This specific one right here is part of their 180 series, which means you can simply flip the ball around. But when you look in the middle, it has a very, very, very cool addition to it. One thing that's kind of interesting is part of their kind of claim to fame when they first came out was how lightweight their hitch is, but then they started offering steel hitches that absolutely are the polar opposite of lightweight. They are super, super heavy, but they have some incredibly high ratings to them, which is also really nice. And I think that that's also an important thing to notice. If you're going to have incredibly high towing and tongue weight capacities, people kind of expect something that's heavy. So this thing is an absolute beast. So that right there is the ball assembly. This right here pops off. And look at that, you have a receiver in here made for accessories, things like that, things that you could use to add some extra cargo capability to your receiver. Now I'm going to go over some expectations around that here in a second. And then here is the shank. That is some insanely thick steel right there. Looks like 3/8 inch thick steel. This thing is absolutely a tank. And then inside of this box, everything's going to be keyed alike. So we're going to have a key, lock pin, coupler lock. You're going to have the part that actually slides in to lock the ball assembly into the shank, which is really, really nice in one key. And what I love about this is the fact that it's all secured in place, and at the same time, it gives you the ability to quickly change the ball out if you need to switch from a 2 5/16 to a 2-inch ball. This is super cool because this gives you a tremendous amount of towing capacity as well as tongue weight capacity. 22,000 pounds worth of towing capacity, and I believe like 2,200 pounds worth of tongue weight capacity, while giving you both your 2 5/16 inch ball as well as your 2-inch ball, and an added bonus. Here at the very end, you also get a 2-inch receiver that you can pin accessories in place. So if you want to use like an accessory rack, things like that, you have the ability to pin it in right here, and a nice rubber cap to cover this up when you are not using that. Very cool. Very, very quick disclaimer, something that they had to tell me about is that this receiver in the center is not designed for recovery products. So if you're going to be using that to yank on something, to be able to pull somebody out of the dirt, be able to get them out of the mud, to be able to use as a mounting point for a winch if you're going to bring it back around and hook a shackle to it, that is not what this is intended for. And they say that if you do that, it could damage it. So please don't do that. That said, if you want to add like an accessory rack to the back of your vehicle, if you want to do things like that while not having to sacrifice the hitch that's already in place, this gives you that option. The other thing that's really nice about it is the ability for you to actually switch ball sizes very quickly by using one key that goes in to this double pin that will lock in place. You simply pull that out, you flip the assembly over, and you're good to go. This does not have an integrated scale built into it though, which I know a lot of people kind of expect when they see the Weighsafe brand. Now, the actual shank on this thing is a beast. Like I said, that steel is insanely thick. It is a very, very robust product. You have a lot of points here that you can adjust. One thing I really like about this product is the fact that it gives you so many incremental adjustments. And when you look at some competing products, they give you like 3. So this one's going to give you so many more areas to be able to adjust this if you need to make micro adjustments to make sure that your trailer and your truck are properly set up together. Another thing that's really nice about this is it sits really, really close to the back bumper. So whenever this is fully in place, it only sticks out maybe about 6 to 8 inches. It does not come off the back of your truck as much as some of the competing hitches out there, and that's another reason why I really like the Weighsafe product, and another reason why I like to keep the Weighsafe product in the back of my truck, because I never really have to worry about hitting my shin on it, or backing up to something and hitting something, or not having enough room to back into a parking spot because it sticks out so far. I love the very, very short profile that this has to it. Let's go ahead and get this assembled, put in place, and we'll see what it weighs. Okay, so the hitch is assembled and it scales in at 31.4 pounds. Now, one thing that is really cool and an improvement over the previous models that I have is that they've always had this rubber cap that goes over the lock assembly right here. And in the past, this cap can get lost or it can come off really easily. What they've done now that's different is that they've actually attached it to the back of the lock. So all you do is you flip it out now instead of removing the whole thing and taking it off. So it's far less likely that you're going to lose this if you're towing or if it gets loose over time and wind catches it and just rips it off. But the entire assembly is absolutely gorgeous. I love the attention to detail. Look at the weld quality on it. It is just really, really well done. They've done a fantastic job. There's a lot of shadows here, so it might be difficult to see, but the weld is impeccable. Very, very, very strong product. They've done a great, great job in overall design. It's very smooth in terms of how it operates. And again, another really nice perk of this is the fact you have your 2 5/16 and your 2-inch ball, plus you have this 2-inch receiver that comes off the back of it, which can come in really handy, again, if you need to put something back there. You know, it's odd to me because they say that you shouldn't use this for recovery, yet the material here is so massive. I don't know why you couldn't. Now, again, they're saying not to, and I'm not going to because they said not to, but you're talking about some insanely thick steel. This looks like 1/2-inch thick steel. I really don't know what would prevent you from doing that, except them telling you not to do it because it could cause damage. So I don't want to go against that rule, because if it does cause damage, then they basically said, you know what, we told you not to do it, so you're kind of on your own. Something else I really like about this product is that if you have other Weighsafe products, you can actually get everything keyed alike, which is really nice. All your pins, everything, even keyed to match older locks you may have from the folks over at Weighsafe. So if you have extra keys, it's just a really, really good, convenient way of making sure that everything kind of matches, which for me is a big deal because I have tons and tons and tons of keys. In my case, I have the keyed alike pin right here, which is used to hold the adjustable portion of the ball mount in place. And then I also have the keyed alike pin right here that actually locks in place to keep this inside of the rear receiver of your truck. Very, very cool product. I will put a link to this in the description. My channel sponsor, etrailer.com, does carry this. It is an absolute beast of a hitch. I love how low profile it is in terms of not coming off the back of your truck very much. I love the fact that you have this option right here to be able to put another receiver in. Shoot, you might even be able to hide something in there. Nice rubber cap that goes over it. Very, very robust overall build. Excellent quality in terms of welds. I love the fact that this assembly locks in place. Many of the competing hitches out there don't do that. And I love the fact that it has 2 different adjustments here, again, to keep it really nice and close, and multiple adjustments here to adjust this thing up and down. This is probably my new favorite product from the folks over at Weighsafe. Even though it does not have a scale built into it, I really don't need it on my new truck since I kind of have a scale built into the truck. And I also have my BigTruckBigRV adjustable tongue jack scale. So very cool. I would love to know what your thoughts are on this thing. This is Honestly, a absolutely fantastic product. I got to give a big shout out to the folks over at Weighsafe and my channel sponsor, etrailer.com. Guys, if you haven't had a chance, please take a moment, subscribe to the channel, check out the description of this video if you're interested in these products. Give me a thumbs up, and we'll talk to you again very soon.